Alright, what we're going to do here is we're going to use the news articles module as a blog. So let me show you a little bit about setting up the page here. So in Midpane 1, we've added the news articles module, and I'm going to add a couple other modules that will kind of fill out this page. So I'll do a news articles archive module, and I'll call this categories. I'm going to put it over in Midpane 2. Go ahead and add that. I'm going to do another one, news articles archives, and I'm going to call this authors, also in Midpane 2. And we could even do a third called date, but instead I'm going to do a news articles search. And we'll say search this blog. And also in Midpane 2, this time I'm going to put that one at the top. Alright. Now we're just going to configure these, so we'll choose settings for the search option. And we'll go in and we're just going to select which one we want it to search. And so this is the blog you have on this page, so we'll go ahead and click update. And then we'll do that for these as well. So this one is categories. And we're going to go ahead, go into the options here, select the blog, and we want to archive mode by category. We'll wait for it to reload. Hide 0 categories is fine. And click update. And then by authors. So we'll go in here, click settings, expand news archive. And this time we're going to sort by author. And we want to maybe go by their display name is fine. It'll be their full name. And then we'll click update. So that's kind of maybe one way you'd set up the page. You see that you have one entry already by Russ Holm. And I'll show you now just adding another entry. So the first thing you'll do is you'll click on create article. So let's say that this was someone other than Russ coming and wanting to post on the blog. So they might have thoughts on a recent sermon would be the title, and maybe the title of the sermon was God on the job. And the text, this would be the place. And like you can do in any of these, you can put links, just creating links, images, and so forth. And you can type as much in here as you want. So this is where all the actual content of this blog post goes. Everything you want to tell somebody, you put it in here in the body. You can skip all these things, links, files, images, summary. If you wanted to have a summary, you could do a summary. And that would be basically a shorter version of what you see up top here. And then people would be able to see the summary and click on a read more link. And I'll show you just how that works. This won't make a lot of sense with just this little content, but hopefully you'll see how it works. Categories, you can choose from the categories that you've set up. In this case, you only have one, but we'll choose events just to show what that does. You can also add tags. So you might want to add a tag, something like, the examples it gives you here, Cowboy, Texas Rodeo 2009. Any word can be a tag, and you'll notice they're separated by commas but not spaces. So this, we're talking about, what are we talking about here? God on the job. So a tag you might use here is work. And we'll put a comma, and maybe this is also going to be about Sabbath. And we'll put another comma, and maybe another thing is God on the job. The scripture text was out of Luke, the book of Luke. So we'll put a comma, or actually we'll say book of Luke. There. And so we'll use those tags. For the author, the default will be who you're logged in as. So I'm logged in as host. I'm going to go ahead and click change author. The page will reload, and then we can select from this drop-down list any of our administrators. So we're going to say that, this one is from GL Ford, and the publish date will be the date you want this to show up. So if you want it to look like it was posted yesterday, you can choose yesterday's date. If you want it not to post until tomorrow, you can choose tomorrow's date. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as right now. I'm going to change this to published, and I'm going to click publish. And that's how to post a blog entry. So now you'll see if we go back to this page that we were on before, you now have 2 entries. Triune Church Picnic was the one that was already there, and then thoughts on a recent sermon. And you'll notice how it says this summary is very short. That's showing our summary. And then there's a link that says read the rest of this article. So we can click on that link, and it'll show us the full article. This is the place where all the thoughts go. On the right, we'll have a couple things. The categories. So there's one thing in the events category. And then you also have the authors. So the GL Ford is showing 1 entry, and Russ Holm is showing 1 entry. So you can also, I'll just show you real briefly, there's tons of different options in here. So you can also look through the admin options and set up things like your Twitter account and so forth. So we'll click on main options here. And so we can say we want to allow ratings. We're going to uncheck that actually. You want to have feature articles to the top. So if you ever click this article is featured, if you want that to show up on top, you can click that. User display mode is maybe you want to do display name. Articles per page. So right now it's set up with no restriction. So if you have 100 entries in this blog, they're all going to show up on one page. Instead, you may want to set that to something like 10. Article template. Right now we had it to standard, and you saw that look. Let's change it to default, and I'll show you a slightly different look there. You have different options in here as far as how you set these up. If you want to require that a category is set, you can do that. Notification settings. So this is if you're going to be notified when someone comments and things like that. You can set all that up in there. Syndication settings. So this will be whether your blog is published or not as far as an RSS feed, so people can subscribe to it. So that you want to have checked. That's a good option. And then I'm going to go ahead and click update. And the main thing we changed in here was the mode. So let's go actually look back at the look here, and you'll notice, see how that's a different look. Not nearly as nice, I don't think, as the other one. So we'll switch it back. But that's the how you might use the news articles module for a blog instead of for your podcast. And like I said, we'll just switch this back from default to standard, scroll down, and click update.